We are continuing our series of videos in Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 Remastered, and as you're aware, a couple of weeks ago now, the first title update for the game was released. Today we're going to take a deeper dive into that title update, as there's certain things that wasn't listed in the official patch notes that have been changed. Firstly then, we will start in Croft Manor of Tomb Raider 3. If you use the sunglasses glitch, which is pressing look and walk together while levels load. Now normally in-game levels this will put Lara's sunglasses on, but in Lara's home in Tomb Raider 1 it changes the picture in the main hall. In Tomb Raiders 2 and 3, if you pressed look and walk together as Croft Manor loaded, nothing happened. There was no sunglasses, there was no painting change, nothing happened. Now, in Tomb Raider 3, if you do what is dubbed the sunglasses glitch, holding look and walk when loading into that particular level, if you come out of the bedroom and go down the stairs, open up the front door, the ATV will be right in front of you, which means you don't need to go and get the racetrack key to be able to drive this around. And you can drive this ATV around the manor at your own free will. You can also have a little bit of fun with it, take it into the gym and use the ramps there as stunt jumps, and if you want you can even drive it into the pool. I mean, if you do this you're not getting it back until you reload the level, but you can do it. Sticking with Croft Manor, this time focusing on the assault course, just because it's easier to show you while we're here. The rope shadow on climbing elements did flicker a little bit and it didn't really look right in the original release version of the game. Now that shadow has been improved and it looks a lot better and is a bit more easy on the eye. In terms of levels then, we've covered this in quite a few videos. As we know, what was dubbed the Epic Games version of Tomb Raider Remastered was announced as a work in progress build that shouldn't have been released, but if you see in those videos and the screenshots that were posted on socials, the level Palace Midas in Tomb Raider 1 doesn't have a roof. After this title update, Palace Midas doesn't have a roof, and you can see comparisons between the two versions on your screen now. This isn't the only area that doesn't have a roof. There are other areas that have had improved skyboxes, and also you're able to see the sky a little bit more. There's more holes in the roof. You may or may not have noticed that in certain levels where there is a water current or a water flow, in the old graphics you were able to see this water flow. In the new graphics the water just looked still. This was prominent in quite a few levels. We're going to use Lost Valley from Tomb Raider 1 as an example, and what you're seeing here is footage from the old version. You can see the water isn't flowing in the new graphics. In the old graphics you can see that there is movement there, and you can see which direction the water is flowing. If we switch to the updated version of the remaster, you can now see in the new graphics the water is now flowing, and in the old graphics the water is flowing in the same direction. So this again is just improving the look of the game compared to the original. Similar to the water textures then, the quicksand textures in the Nevada desert level of Tomb Raider 3 have also been improved. You can see here in the original launch version of the game, the quicksand textures just look like a static texture that, yes, are a different colour to the actual sand that you can run on, but there's nothing that indicates it's a potential trap. Now after the update you can see that these quicksand textures, yes, they are the same colour as they were before, and they're still a different colour to the sand that you can walk on within the level, but now the quicksand textures pulse, giving you a sense of this is different, this could potentially be a trap and something to avoid. And now just some miscellaneous items. If you've got action indicators on, in the old version you would have seen an exclamation mark near levers, near any pickups, near any buttons, anything that you might need to progress through the level. This icon has changed to an image of Lara's hand. There has been some graphical changes to certain pickups as well. They have been made bigger and more visible. If you're not using action indicators, you're able to see them that little bit more clearer. And finally, in photo mode, this has had quite a significant change. The controls have changed quite a bit, and you're now also able to move Lara around. Previously, she was fixed to her position within the level. You could change her pose, but you couldn't move her. So, for example, if you was using the sitting pose, she may have been floating slightly above or below the ledge you might have wanted her to sit on. So you either had to time the drop correctly, go into photo mode and change the pose, or put her in the pose where she's slightly floating above or below and change the camera angle so it looked like she was sitting on it perfectly. Now you don't need to do that. You can move her into the exact position you want her. So there's two new poses, including the iconic pose used on the box art of Tomb Raider 1 is now available for use in photo mode. Just to give you an example of the controls, usually on Xbox or the PlayStation you would use the left and the right stick to move the camera around. Now yes, you can still do that in the new version of photo mode, but if you hold down both triggers and move the sticks, this will move Lara, altering her position within the level. Of course, when you come out of photo mode, she'll be back exactly where she was. Using the right stick rotates Lara and moves her up and down, while the left stick moves her forward, backwards, and left and right. But you must have the triggers held down, otherwise you'll be moving the camera around. As you can see here, I was trying to get her to sit on the edge of the bridge. She was a little bit too far away from the bridge in the actual level, so moving her in photo mode, there was a gap between her and the bridge. I jumped down, gone back into photo mode. When I jumped down, I of course was closer to the bridge, and now I can get a more accurate pose because I'm closer to the object. So those were just some things then that were in Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 Remastered that weren't covered in the title update patch notes. Of course, I can't include everything in these videos. I've tried to include some of the major and more noticeable things, and some things you may or may not know about, such as the ATV. Of course, there's probably plenty more. If there's any I've missed in this video, please let me know in the comments below, and we'll have a little bit of a talk about them.